the rain stops.
When going into buildings that have been submerged, do not touch electrical facilities and make sure to ventilate, as there is a risk of gas leakage.
We should also reduce preventable damages and prepare for disasters ahead of time by following safety guidelines.
That is correct. You can receive real-time safety information through the Disaster Safety Information mobile app, 안전 디딤돌.
Thank you for all the great information. Remember, your safety is everyone's safety. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산 영어방송.
지금 방송 광고라는 부메랑을 던져보세요. 소비자를 향해 정확히 날아가는 광고. 힘차게 돌아가는 경제. 부메랑처럼 다시 기업의 이익으로 되돌아오니까요. 방송 광고, 경제에 큰 힘이 됩니다. 부산 방송광고발전협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
The biggest news this morning is a first of its kind, the detention of a former First Lady. The Seoul Central District Court issued an arrest warrant for former First Lady Kim Gun-hee on stock price manipulation charges, among others. This happened yesterday. The court's reasoning behind its decision: risk of destroying evidence and also witness tampering concerns. So with the former first presidential couple in detention, a new precedent has been set. All eyes will be on the legal maneuvering and outcomes for each defendant in the multiple cases lodged against them. I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Wednesday, August 13th on BEFM 부산 영어 방송. Good morning, Wavers. Welcome to the program. And it is Wednesday, as Ho Sunjunim says, wonderful Wednesday. I love that. The two W's. So welcome to the program once again. And we're going to dive into our program. We're going to cover the details of former First Lady and her detention later on in the news. In the meantime, let's talk about this. We're living in this aging society, right? And safety involving seniors and senior drivers. This is a major issue, not just here in South Korea, but all around the world, but especially here in South Korea. Amid an increase in the number of accidents involving elderly drivers, the British government is introducing measures to strengthen road safety requirements for over 70 years of age drivers. So under the new government plans to overhaul road safety laws, the British authorities are going to ban over 70 drivers from driving if they fail their respective eyesight exam. These new changes are going to be announced in the fall and require elderly drivers to get eyesight tests every 3 years. Of course, the same discussions have been ongoing in South Korea, obviously because of the rapidly aging society. So according to the Korea Road Traffic Authority, known as KOROAD, there were over 42,000 traffic accidents caused by elderly drivers, accounting for over 20% of the total number of accidents. The government currently has senior drivers take dementia tests, and they run separate safety classes as well. It has also shortened the license renewal period to every 5 years for those between 65 and 75, and every 3 years for drivers 75 and up. However, there are voices that say this just isn't enough, calling for what is called a conditional license. So this would allow the license holder to only drive during the daytime, ban them from expressways and other high-risk situations. Of course, this is an issue that needs to take into consideration things like transportation access and mobility rights. And of course, the most important thing we say so many times here on our program, safety. Safety comes first, not just for the seniors, but for everyone. So yes, a lot of discussion needs to be had. And now we're going to get to our text topic. So this is related to a story later on. If you could donate to anywhere, where would it be and how? Anywhere meaning, any type of entity, organization. So 기부를 한다면 어디에 어떤 방식으로 하고 싶으신가요? And I know some of you already do, whether it's in small amounts or maybe you do it anonymously, maybe you do it on a monthly subscription basis. But, if you could donate, if you had an unlimited amount of resources, of money, where would you donate to? All right, you can send in your responses to BFM's live stream, a live chat. We have a chat room going on YouTube. So go to the YouTube platform and type in BEFM or Busan 영어 방송 to find our channel first. And then you can subscribe. You can log in and chat with our other waivers. And from your phone, pound 9050, 샵 9050. That's going to cost you 101. You can also reach me for free through Kakao Talk. So type in BEFM or Busan 영어 방송. And yes, check in with us. You can send in your messages and photos as well. The ways you can tune into Morning Wave in Busan. Like I said, we're streaming live right now on YouTube. You can watch again at your leisure. We also have, our Papang app, the BFM app, free to download. And if you're in Busan, 90.5, 103.3 FM. It's on the radio, right? Oh, this is so old. Oh, 너무 올드해요. Now it's these buttons, right? Not the dial anymore. So anyhow, the ways you can check us out. Looking ahead to our morning together. All right, first up we have Nauen next with Lian. That's in hour number 1. And then Jennifer in hour number 2 with Work in Progress. Our special interview. I think this is so interesting. Hopefully it'll pique your interest as well. Why are we so obsessed with personality tests? 특히 한국에서 너무 이런 personality test, MBTI, what's your blood type? 그런 거 너무 좋아하잖아요. 근데 왜 좋아하죠? Why do we like them so much? We're almost obsessed with it. And that's kind of like the new thing, like, you never, 요즘은 그거 혈액형 안 물어보잖아요. 그쵸? So for our waivers out there, yes, side question. What's your MBTI? 궁금하네요. So send those in as well. And I'm going to get to news overview. It's now 7:06 and this is news overview. Court approves arrest warrant for Kim Gun-hee. The Seoul Central District Court yesterday approved the arrest warrant for former First Lady Kim Gun-hee, marking the first time that a former first couple has both been put under detention. Special counsel arrests Kim Gun-hee's butler, Kim Ye-sung, at airport. The special counsel led by Min Jung-gi yesterday arrested Kim Ye-sung, known as former First Lady Kim Gun-hee's butler, at Incheon International Airport upon his arrival from Vietnam. President Lee to meet President Trump on August 25th. President Lee Jae-myung will meet with U.S. President Donald Trump on August 25th at the White House for their first summit, embarking on a state visit to the U.S. from August 24th to 26th at the invitation from President Trump. South Korea vows to lower industrial accident deaths to OECD average. The government will seek to drastically reduce the number of industrial accident deaths to match the OECD average by 2030, as President Lee Jae-myung vowed stern action against such accidents. Ukraine says it won't cede territory as Russia ramps up offensive. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says that Ukraine will not give up territory in exchange for a ceasefire, as Russia has reportedly suddenly charged the Ukrainian Eastern War Front. And this was News Overview. It's time for Now in Busan, and here is my matching counterpart, Steve. He's in the studio. Hello.
What's up, guys?
돌아왔네요.
돌아왔어요.
근데 어저께 제가 I watched the replay.
Uh-huh. I did say 돌아왔어요, right?
Not really.
Oh, really? It was 돌았어요?
That's what it
Oh,
sounded
man.
like. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
slightly, 조금 in between.
In between?
Yeah. But welcome back.
All right.
Any version of
돌아왔어요.
you.
Mm-hmm.
we
Any version
enjoy.
of me?
Yes.
I'm Steve.
The regular or the other kind.
Steve.
Well, I want to ask you about our text topic.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Okay, so
yeah.
if you had unlimited resources and you could donate, where would you donate to? Or to whom?
To kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, elementary school kids.
Like in
'cause
what regard?
In every regards.
In every regard.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just for elementary school kids.
Just like, money gun shooting. Like for what? For what? Like
I want. I mean, I want to tell them, like, show them that you can, dream anything you want. It comes true. So I want to tell them that it's not impossible.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why.
Oh. So you would be like, hey, you can be like me.
Oh, yeah.
Dream big.
You can be like me.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to hold their subconscious.
I get it.
Impossible is nothing.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. We're going to jump into our first story. And so this is a follow-up to a story that we did, but we need the latest on this. So remind us first up about what's going on with the Haeundae Festa. It didn't go as planned this year. So what exactly happened?
Yeah, so it's been really messy. Haeundae district has a system where they lend part of the beach to private companies for free. The companies handle the costs and run programs to attract tourists. This year, a 200-meter stretch was designated as a private promotion zone and run under the name Haeundae Festa.
Yeah, so we need to know where and how did it go wrong?
The event flopped in terms of turnout, and there were conflicts between the main operator and the businesses inside.
Okay.
A civic group, Busan People Solidarity, says the district didn't properly manage or oversee the contractor.
Yes. So were there specific violations?
Yes. The operator was prohibited from subleasing the space, but they still collected rent from 10 food truck vendors. The civic group says the district ignored it, even though this was a clear breach.
I see. And the concern is that this is public property, right?
Exactly. The group argues that even though no public funds were spent, the beach is public land. They say the district should have vetted the operator's plans more thoroughly and ensured the space served the public good.
Right.
Instead, they claim a quarter of the beach was wasted during peak season.
Which is not good. We don't want any waste.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, without a proper investigation, this could pop up again. So hence we need the investigation, right?
That's right.
All right. Well, thanks for the update on this one. All right. Next, I heard this story and I was like, did I hear right? Because I actually really enjoy doing this, but I would never do this.
Oh.
Golfing on a school playground. Is this correct?
Ooh, yes. You did. 제대로 들으셨어요. On August 5th, around 7:25 a.m., two men were spotted practicing golf for about 15 minutes on the sports field of an elementary school in Haeundae. The school was closed at the time, and they would actually fenced off the field for safety due to construction.
Okay, so many questions. First up, how do they even get in?
Okay, that's a great question.
Okay.
The school thinks they climbed over the safety fence when no staff were around. The problem is most schools in Busan, about 87%, open their playgrounds to residents when they're not in use for classes.
Yes.
Under city guidelines that encourage community access.
Right. So in theory, community access, I understand. But, risky in practice, especially if it's been cordoned off for construction, right?
Right. Schools are dealing with misuse, like people letting dogs run off leash, leaving waste, or in this case, doing activities that could be dangerous to children.
Yes.
A golf ball can travel far and hit hard, and parents in local and online forums were quick to raise safety concerns.
And by the way, I have been hit in the arm, my right arm, by a golf ball that my sister hit. And I had to go to the doctor. I had to get it checked out just in case because it was so swollen. It's really dangerous.
It is.
What is the school going to do about this?
They're considering restricting access, even though they've tried to keep the space open for the community.
Yes.
The education office doesn't currently have a set guideline for managing outside visitors. So schools are on their own to handle these incidents.
Well, I certainly hope they get a plan in place because, even though it might be summer vacation, it's, kids that go to their schools during summer vacation. So, yes, hopefully this will not happen again.
Please.
Yes. All right. And on to another safety issue. Another sinkhole reported in Busan, correct?
Yes. This one happened around 11:05 a.m. yesterday. The 12th near the Sasang Morning Market, right next to the Sasang-Haran subway line construction site. It was about 5 meters long, 1 meter wide, and 1 meter deep.
5 meters? That's kind of big. Was anybody hurt?
Thankfully, no. The back wheel of a one-ton truck fell into the sinkhole, but the driver managed to get out on his own and wasn't seriously injured.
Wow.
Fire authorities came and secured the area. However, the real worry is that this isn't an isolated case. It's the 15th sinkhole in the area in just 3 years, including 4 just this year.
Right. So that's kind of when you think about the numbers, quite a bit for like one area, one spot, right?
Right. And a city audit last September found that the causes weren't just heavy rains, but also poor construction and oversight.
Right.
Despite promises from the city and the transit authority to strengthen road management, the problem keeps happening, leaving nearby residents uneasy.
Right.
The Sasang-Haran subway line's opening has also been delayed by a year, now planned for late 2027.
Right. And yes, we want, the subway line up and running, but of course, we don't want any more sinkholes. We want everybody to be safe, right? All right. Next, I hear that there is a big marine leisure festival coming up here in Busan.
Yes. The 13th Korea International Marine Leisure Week will run from August 14 to 17 across Busan beaches.
Yes.
And this year, the main events will be held at Daedaepo Beach to promote marine tourism in western Busan.
I like that idea because we don't want to only focus on Gwangalli and Haeundae and the usual. So what can visitors expect?
At Daedaepo, there will be games, craft, indie band performances, and even beach yoga. But the activities are spread across multiple locations.
Yes.
Gwangalli Beach will have stand-up paddleboarding and banana boat rides. Suyong River offers a cruise tour. Suyong Bay Yacht Marina will host yacht tours. Daedaepo has surfing and paddleboarding, and Songjeong Beach is all about surfing.
Oh, yes. So can anyone join in?
Of course. Most activities are open to the public with discounts for those who sign up early through the Holic Jam mobile app. It's meant to be a one-stop shop for marine leisure, information, and booking.
Sounds like a perfect excuse to get that out there in the water. Have you tried any of these, like paddleboarding?
Oh, I did paddleboarding, but I really want to try banana boat rides.
That's the best. So much fun. Well, thank you for coming in today. And of course, we look forward to tomorrow as well. 내일도 돌아와 주세요.
돌아올게요.
네. Everybody, this was Steve, and I'll be back with your traffic and weather.
Good morning.
Good morning.
굿모닝입니다.
Good morning.
좋은 아침입니다.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Major news, local buzz, and expert takes. It's all here on Morning Wave in Busan. Brighten up your morning commute with Morning Wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
It's now 7:18 on this Wednesday morning. Let's check out the road conditions. The Dongso overpass looks congested right now from Pyeongnaekgo ramp to the old Kaegum tollgate. Also, traffic detected on Nakdong-Namno from Hadan intersection to Ha Guwon Bridge. and it's backed up on Chungdangdaero from pier number 5 to pier number 4. Still going on Mandukdaero from Manduk Tunnel number 2 to Manduk intersection. Currently, it's 26 degrees Celsius under cloudy skies here in Busan. With the daytime high, it's going to go up to 31 today. The sun is set to make an appearance later on this morning. Across the nation, heavy rain forecast for the central area with heavy rain advisories issued across parts of the capital area. So please be aware, be careful. Several road and bridge closures reported in Seoul, so please check the routes before you head out. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for top stories, and joining us is Haley. Our dress code today, black, apparently.
So we are dress code shirt twins, and speaking of MBTIs,
Yes.
MBTI twins.
I know.
Right?
So we are, what are we?
ESTJ. Yes,
Yes, we are.
엄격한 관리자. It tracks. Are you too?
아, 진짜?
All right.
피디님도요?
We are black and ESTJ
we're all
triplets.
black and
Okay,
triplets.
okay.
그래서 우리가
This is why we
너무
get
잘
along.
맞아요.
It's everything's so like comfortable.
Yes.
Like, all right.
Text topic time. Giving, donating.
I have a monthly subscription, so every, I think 10th, it's same day as salary day. I know it's a pattern. Money goes in, comes in, it just leaves. It checks in. It's like, I'm here, I'm a go. And thankfully, one of the places that it does go to is to a charitable organization. But I recently learned that you can contact like a welfare center or your local community center and get matched one-on-one with a child anywhere,
really?
like in your neighborhood or elsewhere. And you can choose to like give for their monthly academy subscriptions or something of your choosing.
Yes.
So, because I understand that there are transparency issues with some charitable organizations, or there have been, and people are concerned about whether their money is going to the intended places. So I kind of want to start looking into like sponsoring a child.
Yes.
By the way, my thing is girls' education. So
That's your platform.
That's my platform. Yes.
For me, I've been mentoring actually 2 students free of charge. English.
Right, 재능 기부.
Yes,
which
that's
is,
what I've been doing for the past, several years now. And then once they don't need my services, then I try to find another student who might need,
that's fantastic.
English. And I feel like the child really enjoys the time. I enjoy the time
it's
too.
It's not just English, because it is kind of a form of mentorship.
Yes,
and
it
having
is.
like a really good adult role model is very important.
The over-involvement, yes. But anyhow, that's what I do. It's like, short on money because I have too many kids of my own, but
so you
I
take
can
on
give
more
time.
kids.
Yes. We're going to jump into our first story, and this is, of course, the big story. Former First Lady Kim Gun-hee is now under detention, right?
Right. So former First Lady Kim Gun-hee will be put under detention at Seoul's Nambu Detention Center after the proceedings are completed, and the court indeed approved her arrest warrant late last night. So the special counsel has applied charges of the violation of the Capital Markets Act regarding the Deutsche Motors stock manipulation allegations, also violation of the Political Funds Act for election meddling involving the pollster Myung Tae-gyun, and bribery allegations involving the shaman Kunzin and the Unification Church.
Right.
So the special counsel is said to have emphasized that her alleged crimes are grave and that there's risk of attempt to destroy evidence, which the court clearly agreed with. So here, the smoking gun evidence is said to have been the Van Cleef necklace, the diamond necklace. Kim Gun-hee had argued that this diamond necklace that she wore to the NATO summit back in 2022 was a fake. Because if it had been real, then she would have had to report it to a public official's asset disclosure.
Yes.
However, now there are allegations that not only was the necklace real, but that it may have been a bribe. So the special counsel, actually the day before the warrant hearing, received a written affidavit, 자수서, from this construction company, 서희건설, saying that an executive actually allegedly gave it to Kim Gun-hee right after her husband's inauguration. And this would have been the real necklace. The council also presented both the real necklace and the fake at the hearing.
I see. Well, this is seen as a major win for the Min Jung-gi Special Counsel.
Right, for their case, because the warrant actually, if you look at the timeline, it came rather quickly because the special counsel by law has 150 days to investigate. Yesterday marked day 42, so they're not even a third of the way in. So the pundits do see this as a strategic move by the council to secure the individual who is at the very center of the allegations to kind of untangle these web of allegations, because Kim previously denied all the charges, and that worked as reasoning for the council to try to secure her as in detention.
Yes.
So this now will be a jumping off point for the council to launch into other allegations, because I only mentioned 3 that were specified in the warrant. However, the council is looking into 16 allegations. So now that they have her in custody, they will look into cases of another stock manipulation case in the Sambu-Togon Corporation,
Right.
the Yangpyeong Expressway route change, and the so-called Butler Gate.
Yes, yes. So that is the biggest top news. Next, another top issue in the country right now is industrial accidents. We've been reporting on them, which, despite the president's stern warning, continue to take place.
Unfortunately so. I mean, no one should die on the job, but this does continue to happen, including a recent case in Kimhae when a subcontracted worker in his 50s died after he got stuck between a cargo truck and a lift, and this is said to have been on the first day of the job. So the worksite has been suspended, and the local authorities have launched an investigation of whether this could be in potential violation of the Serious Accidents Punishment Act, SAPA. In another case, the police also raided the offices of POSCO ENC yesterday. This is in connection to the electrocution accident, but thankfully we can report at this point that the migrant worker who had been electrocuted has regained consciousness yesterday, although he is not verbal.
Oh my goodness. So good news. And of course, we're hoping and praying for the best, right?
Of course.
All right. And as this is going on, the Justice Ministry is seeking official sentencing standards for serious industrial accidents.
Right. So we're talking about 양형기준 sentencing standards, because according to those in the legal field, the Justice Ministry sent a notice to the Supreme Court Sentencing Committee to come up with standards for violators of the SAPA, because right now there is no sentencing guideline. So of course, the law stipulates that for the worst cases, violators can receive a minimum of 1 year sentence and up to 1 billion won in fines if there was a death and a failure by the contractor or the company to abide by safety regulations. However, sentencing guidelines, 양형기준, these are metrics or guidelines that the judges use to actually sentence the cases. And while a judge can go outside the guideline, if he or she does that, they have to write a separate opinion explaining why. So not every crime has a sentencing guideline, and SAPA at least now doesn't.
And even socially and medically, it seems that industrial accidents have been kind of swept under the rug. So can you explain this?
Right. So in case that you get injured at a work site, you can and you should be treated and be compensated under the industrial disaster insurance.
Right.
산재보험, this is what your employer subscribes to.
Sure.
And you should never have to use your personal insurance. However, there have been a lot of cases. We're talking 230,000 in the last 5.5 years where people did use their personal insurance. And by the way, the industrial accident insurance pays for the worker to go on paid leave during the period of the treatment. So Excuse me. So the National Health Insurance Corporation data, which was released by Rebuilding Korea lawmaker Kim Sun-min, it said that the insurance corporation found between the year 2020 and June of this year, these companies, 230,000 cases, did not disclose or they hid these industrial accidents.
Yes. So, question: why are people then not filing for industrial insurance in these cases?
Well, some cases it was a lack of awareness. Some people thought that although the accident happened on the work site or en route or to and from work, they thought they wouldn't qualify as an industrial accident.
Okay.
However, there were definitely cases where the employer either allegedly convinced or maybe even coerced the employee to not file for industrial insurance. This is so that the employer wouldn't be disadvantaged, whether it be subject to penalties or having to pay higher insurance costs the following year.
I see.
But then this also disadvantages the worker because then he or she cannot get compensation for full treatments or pay time off. And also this puts undue burden upon the health insurance system.
That's true. So, thanks for letting us know about the details of this as well. We're going to move on for now. A record number of people have signed life-sustaining treatment plans refusing resuscitation treatment.
Right, so this number has reached now over 3 million. They've signed up to refuse resuscitation treatments in the past 7.5 years that the system has been in place.
Okay.
So what I'm talking about in Korean, this is 사전 연명의료 의향서, life-sustaining treatment plans. So they refer to medical treatments that keeps the patient alive, but without providing effective treatment. Basically, the patient isn't getting better, but they are kept alive, including life support measures like respirators, 인공호흡기.
Right.
So the system then allows people to sign on to not receive resuscitation plans. This was implemented back in 2018, and as of this past Sunday, the number of subscribers has exceeded 3 million, and that accounts for a little under 7% of the adult population.
Right.
There are 400,000 patients for whom doctors stopped life support, and these decisions are made for those whom doctors deem that medical treatment wouldn't be effective anymore. And they either have to have signed the life treatment plan beforehand or consult their family members and have the family agree to stop life support.
Right. And apparently there is a demographic pattern.
Right. So as you might imagine, older people there are more of older people who have signed on to this plan, with over 74% being over 65. And women actually double the number of men. Right, which is interesting. But experts actually explain that this is because women tend to be more socially active in their older age and therefore have more access to information about the system, whether that be from institution or word of mouth from their friends.
Yes.
But recently, those in middle ages to early seniors, so I'm talking 40s, 50s, and 60s, they've been signing up more and more for this system.
Okay.
Experts here say it might be because they've experienced their elderly parents' deaths, and that might be kind of nudging the middle-aged population to think about and reflect on more of a dignified death.
Yes.
So with the increase of these decisions, some say that halting or stopping life support should be expanded because right now it only applies to those who are deemed to be medically in the process of dying, 임종 과정. But some call for an expansion to terminal patients who are expected to die within months. In fact, Health Minister Jung Eun-kyung said that she does agree with expanding this right, and the ministry will launch a consultative body to hold social discussions.
Yes.
And the National Health Insurance Corporation said that if the country allows for patients to end life support a month before their death, this could actually cut the medical care costs by about half. And not that, money is the priority, but it could put undue burden onto the families and the patients. So definitely a factor to consider.
Right. All right, for our final story, we're going to go to the U.S. Yesterday, we reported that President Donald Trump has decided to deploy the National Guard to Washington, D.C. to combat crime.
Right. So let's dive into this issue and why this is potentially very controversial. So President Trump on Monday local time announced and deployed 800 National Guard troops to provide support to hundreds of federal law enforcement officers in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
The D.C. police, and this is unprecedented, they are also under federal control. According to the White House just yesterday, 23 arrests have been made since the weekend. So President Trump said that he was, quote, rescuing D.C. from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and called this Liberation Day for the country's capital.
Okay.
Trump claims that D.C. has been taken over by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, as well as by drugged-out maniacs and homeless people.
So we got to fact check. Are these claims true?
Actually, no. So according to data from D.C. Metropolitan Police Department, homicides, so murders, dropped by 32% between 2023 and last year and reached the lowest level since 2018. 2019. And actually, there's been another substantial drop of 12% this year, according to data. And it is not insignificant to note that DC is a very blue state. It has always voted for a Democratic presidential candidate ever since it's had electoral votes. So the mayor of DC, who is also a Democrat, acknowledged that there was a terrible spike in crime in 2023, reflecting a nationwide trend, but that numbers have come down. So this move of the president taking control of the city's police force, it is allowed under the law, but if special conditions of an emergency nature exist. So there's controversy as to whether this emergency nature might be, well, bluntly real or not.
He's, already deployed the guards. So,
yes.
Well, we just report. That's it for the top stories. And of course, we'll check in with you in hour number 2. So thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
All right, let's get to our first song for this Wednesday morning. Say You Won't Let Go by James Arthur.
I met you in the dark. You lit me up. You made me feel as though I wasn't enough. We danced the night away. We drank too much. I held your hair back when you were throwing up. Then you smiled over your shoulder. For a minute I was stone cold sober. I pulled you closer to my chest. And you asked me to stay over. I said I already told you. I think that you should get some rest. I knew I loved you then, but you'd never know. 'Cause I played it cool and I was scared of letting go. I knew I needed you, but I never showed. But I wanna stay with you until we're gray and old. You up with some breakfast in bed. I'll bring you coffee with a kiss on your head. And I'll take the kids to school, wave them goodbye. And I'll thank my lucky stars for that night. When you looked over your shoulder, for a minute I forget that I'm older. I wanna dance with you right now. Oh, and you look as beautiful as ever, and I swear that every day you'll get better. You make me feel this way somehow. I'm so in love with you, and I hope you know, darling, your love is more than worth its weight in gold. We've come so far, my dear, look how we've grown. And I wanna stay with you until we're great. You, even when we're ghosts, 'cause you were always there for me when I needed you most. I'm gonna love you till my lungs give out. I promise till death we part, like in our vows. So I wrote this song for you. Now everybody knows that it's just you and me till we're gray and old. Just say you won't let go. Just say you won't let go. Just say you won't let go. Oh, just say you won't let go.
Welcome back. What a nice song for this Wednesday morning. I'm going to read some of your responses to, the text topic. If you could donate to anyone, anywhere, how would you do so? Where would you, send your donations to. And by the way, donations, like I gave you an example, my personal example, it doesn't have to be money all the time. I donate my time and my so-called talent, as I was saying, I'm mentoring students. But let's get to your responses. So first up, let's get to Benny, who says, for me, if I could donate anywhere, maybe donating old clothes to people who don't have enough clothes or who have lost clothes due to typhoons or the monsoon or torrential rains. So, that's a great way to donate. And Tommy says, I will make a company which has a school to teach jobs for free to children who have not enough money, and even for people who might be homeless. And he says, by the way, I am ISFP. Oh, we're talking about the MBTI. We threw out that side question as well. So thank you for sharing. I do appreciate it. Leslie says, I primarily donate to organizations that fall into the following category. Child welfare, meaning child health or education, the environment, and those that address food insecurity. So, wow, she already donates, it seems, across the board. And TJ 요태진님 says, 저에게 100조가 있다면, 100조, wow, that's a lot. 1조를 빼고, 1조는 뺀대요. 99조 치료가 필요한 어린이 병원에 기부할 거예요. You're only going to keep 1조 and then you're going to give 99조를 give away. And he says, to paraphrase, to children's hospitals. That's a great cause as well. So thank you for sharing. And I love that whole idea. We're fantasy la la land. 100조 좋네요. 생각만 해도 puts a smile on my face. And with that, we're going to get to Now and Next. It's time for Now Next. We have Lian in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, good. So, text topic for you.
Yes.
You heard it?
I've heard it.
Yes. So,
the last time that I felt like I really wanted to donate somewhere, was a pet shelter, animal shelter, because if you remember during the COVID years,
yes,
everyone was getting pets.
That's true.
And there were so many stray dogs. Even in my town where there's rarely any, I would start to see stray dogs. Like you can totally tell they've been bought recently, but thrown away. Let
abandoned.
Go of. Yes. So that's when I thought my friends were adopting dogs, but they were sad that, the animal shelters, they could only keep the animals for so long, right?
Right.
Because they need to continue to bring in more dogs. So that's the last time I felt like, I feel like I would want to donate a part of my money. 근데 100조 너무 많아요. 그래서 100조를 거기다 넣는 건 좀 고민해봐야 될 것 같은데. But that's when I truly felt like the need to donate.
You felt the urge, right?
Yes. For those poor dogs. I'm a dog person. I love dogs.
Yes. Well, thank you for sharing. We're going to get into our topic for Now and Next. What new thing are we going to learn about?
So we're going to talk about virtual humans today.
Oh.
So here's a bit of a question for you, Catherine.
Okay.
If, let's say, there's the perfect, ideal type of human in your... It could be a male or a female.
Okay.
But it's a virtual human.
Virtual human, okay.
Would you follow him or her on the SNS, buy his or her album? Let's just say this person is just like the definition of perfect in your mind.
Yes.
Would you try to talk to him or her through a chat room or whatnot? What would you do?
And the thing is, I know many people would.
I
don't
know. But we're
know.
not that generation, right?
I don't know. It's like... it's like 그래도 진짜가 아닌 건 알잖아. You know that it's virtual.
근데 보는데 너무 행복해.
눈은
너무-
행복해. 힘들다 이거.
성격도 너무 좋아. Oh, my favorite type of personality.
person. Whether once again female, male, whatever, right?
Like humor and whatnot. Still, the virtual gets to you.
The virtual gets to me, like
Which
in
is
the back of my
understandable.
mind.
Right.
Like for the time being, if I'm like checking out his or her account, or and I'm like following him or her, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's cool. Ooh, I like how she said that, or I like how he dresses. So
Right.
chic, right? And then, but in the back of my mind,
Right.
for me,
Right,
I'm
right,
a realist.
Right. Me
Yeah.
too. I think it would still get to me. But for
yes.
most of our younger generation, it's not. It's becoming part of their world. And it's a trend that's becoming their new reality. So these digital avatars, these virtual humans, they sing, they dance, and they also are influencers. They
Yes.
act like real celebrities as well these days. So, and they rack up millions of followers on social media. That's the reality we're living in right now.
True.
And the market for these AI celebrities or virtual humans is growing quite fast. According to industry reports, the global digital avatar market grew by over 36% every year from 2021 to 2023.
Wow.
And it's projected to reach over 527 billion by 2030. And so I'm not sure if you've heard of the major, when we're talking about virtual idols, there's like a couple groups that come up to mind.
Yes.
To be honest, I haven't heard of them until I was preparing for this corner. But there's the Plave or the 이세계 아이돌. 들어보신 적 있나요?
들어는 봤어요.
들어는 봤어요.
Because of, the nature of my job. Like I'm always like perusing the news and stuff.
Right. But you've never actually consumed their content? No.
No. I know on that, yes.
Yes, so these virtual idols, they're not just, this digital thing online. They actually have dedicated fans. They sell albums. They hold virtual concerts. And actually, the group Plave, they broke records with their album sales earlier this year. They sold over 1 million copies in the first week alone.
This
of
is
their
so
launching.
mind-boggling.
Do you know Plave? Do you know what they look like?
No.
They're like animated versions of a male K-pop idol.
진짜?
Right. It looks like you're looking into an animation. But their voices are, their voiceover is like so real. Like you feel like someone. The voice is high quality. But
okay.
Yes. So they're really popular. But when we're talking about virtual idols, what's also been kind of going viral online is, of course, we have to talk about the K-pop demon hunters.
Oh gosh, yes.
The Saja boys or the Huntrix, right? Because they've been causing this massive stir.
Have you seen this? 저 봤어요.
So many times.
Oh, you said
because of my kids. They wouldn't stop singing Golden at home. I think this is the story of all the moms out there who have elementary school kids.
I mean,
your kids too?
My youngest is in high school. She's like, Mom, can you watch this with me? And I was just kind of like, I was like, sure. But 속으로는 진짜. 그래 같이 봐. 방학이야 그래. 고3인데 뭐 공부 안 하고 봐야지. So we watched this because she wanted like a little break from her studies.
But wasn't it good?
I was surprised.
It's good.
I was really surprised.
Right. The storyline. I mean, it's really fast moving. But I mean, it was really good. So even these Saja boys, their songs or the Golden. Did you know they're making it to the Billboard chart?
I heard that Golden is like Billboard top 100, like Hot 100, like number one.
Yes, they reached number one on the Billboard chart, and that was the first ever that a virtual artist has been able to do that. And then we started to see real K-pop idols like Chaonu dancing after, like mimicking the Saja boys. So we're seeing the virtual idol going viral and then the real world idols following suit, which is a crazy phenomenon.
And even like Jungkook from BTS, like being moved literally by watching.
Exactly. Oh, the crying one?
Yes,
that video went viral too.
그래서 you and I are not alone. Adults that maybe in the beginning were forced to watch it.
Exactly.
But then kind of surprised by the quality. And the songs are so good.
Yeah, and I truly, it got me interested into this world of virtual humans because I think they're going to get big.
Yes.
So you might wonder, how do these virtual humans work? Do they have separate voices? Do they have real voices? Or are these voices like are they an AI? So these idols are animated. They actually have voice actors behind them. So these humans, they provide the voiceovers for the characters, bringing the virtual idols to life.
Yes.
They sing, speak, and even engage in live performances. But again, it's all backed by real human talent. So it's not an AI that's singing most of the case.
Yes.
So it's this fusion of animation and real world voice acting that makes virtual idol feel more lifelike and relatable to the fans as well.
And our producer just put up, this is Play Booth.
Yes, that is Play.
So which one's your favorite waivers out there? Because, you know,
what,
guys,
to be honest,
bias 있어야죠.
I watched one music video before coming in just to be like, I feel like I need to know. 다 비슷하게 생겼어요. 모르겠어요. I'm not...
Did they go to the same?
They look like the pink hair looks like the guy from Boys.
The
one that's covering all the eyes.
Yeah. I see the resemblance.
나이가 많아가지고 이런 거밖에 못해. Commentary 안 될 것 같아요. But I'm sure the Play fans out there are just like, how could you?
How could you
not be able to pick?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes. So talking about Play, we can skip over to the part where they actually made headlines recently because they have become the Seoul ambassadors of the city of Seoul, representing the startup Seoul ambassadors.
Wow.
So they're the first ever virtual idol group to represent something, a group that's run by the city. And they were chosen because of their global fan base and their ability to represent the creative potential of Seoul's startup ecosystem. So even the Seoul city is
And I've heard and I've read articles.
Yes.
I'm such a reader. Like I don't know the members of Play, but I've read.
Right.
That the cost benefit of the articles I read is that of having like an AI kind of idol group or someone who's a spokesperson for a brand or something. Like 스캔들이 안 나잖아.
스캔들이 안 나죠.
그러니까 it's like
they can put in the they can always limit. They always pre-plan, right?
Yes.
It's almost all scripted. So there's no problem in terms of scandal. And also, you know what? They can, the thing about real life idols or celebrities, they have to travel, right? Get on the airplane. They have to do the world tour.
Yeah.
But for these virtual idols, they can be in Abu Dhabi today and tomorrow, or like the next second be in Seoul. And then the next hour be in London. You know what I mean? So I think that's why a lot of people...
Our waivers are schoolings. Leslie says, Jimin is the inspiration for baby 사자. And then Souvenir saying, 사자 boys 팬이 그렇게 많다고. 근데 I've seen it. I've been hearing from younger people, around me saying, talking about...
Right.
They really are into it. These virtual characters. It's
and
real.
there are a lot of AI video footages that kind of merge the 사자 boys and then the BTS team and they kind of merge using computer graphics, and it's quite crazy.
Yes. So in terms of the benefits, I mentioned a couple 그 스캔들 같은 거 안 터지고요.
Yes.
Anything else?
Well, we did talk about most of the things.
Yes.
That they don't age.
That's true. 그쵸. In 5 years, how are they gonna depict it, or are they gonna just stay at that age?
근데 저는 그 에이징 하는 게 좋을 것 같아요. It's still being the old person. Because we're aging together. We're aging together. It's you and I. I feel more closer, but I guess this is a so-called benefit for in the digital world.
Sure.
That they don't age. They're just continue to be at that age.
So do you think that this is the beginning of a whole new era? Because, I mean, whether it's one particular group like Play or others out there, I mean, even in the past years, we've seen the AI, the holograms of real singers, but they're able to present them on stage in hologram form. So are we headed in a new direction, K-pop and global entertainment?
It seems like we are headed to this new world where it's kind of merging at this point, the real world idols and the virtual humans.
Yes.
They're not only entertaining us, but they're also reshaping the way we consume music. You begin to see music videos where you feel like this is probably human-made, but you would be surprised to find that it's a virtual human.
Right.
It's getting quite confusing at this point. And so as we move into this new era, it's, I think, pretty clear that virtual humans are here to stay. And do you know that, even some commercials, they're adopting AI,
right.
virtual models now.
I've already seen like a soda, I can't spit thing.
Right.
that they've been using like an AI character, so... Can we be? Oh, what if they replace us, Lian?
Actually, I'm an AI, Catherine.
Did you know? Dun dun dun.
Someone's programming me.
Well, thank you for bringing this very hot topic up for discussion today. And of course, we'll check in with you real soon. Thank you, Lian. Bye-bye. It's time to wrap up hour number 1. We're going to do it with this song, I'm the Trend by 여자 아이들. Enjoy. They're real. And then we'll be back at 8.
I don't need a perfume 향수를 뿌리지 않아도 주변에 항상 나비들이 모여들고 I don't wear fancy clothes 내가 입은 옷은 전부 sold down countdown 내 여기 좀 봐 난 너희가 다 되고 싶은 모습을 모두 담았잖아 그독한 포즈 완벽한 넌 버티고 한계를 넘어 매력은 나 홀리고 흔들고 덮치고 훔치고 내 생활은 내게 먹히고 그래 멋지고 이쁜 거 어쩌는 거 다 해먹어 Yeah I'm the trend 왼손잡이 태국인 but they think I'm 한국인 Because 내 예쁜 글씨체 이제 내 폰트가 필요해 더 많지만 여기까지 네 차연 따라 I'm the trend Wherever we go Never end Can't you see the light 저기 나를 위해 기다리는 빨간 빛을 봐봐 Oh my god Gonna blow your mind and make your everyday I feel like a lion better move like
부산 영어방송.
기업체 사장님들 아직도 직영으로 식당 운영하고 계십니까? 위탁급식과 도시락 전문 기업 더 좋은 푸드에 맡겨보십시오. 운영비 절감 효과 확실합니다. 식대는 협의 후 맞춰드립니다. 지역 부산 경남 문의 전화 051-784-0877.
혹시 지금 운전 중이신가요? 어린이 교통사고 피해자 수는 지난 3년 평균 약 9만 명. 특히 어린이 보호구역 안전기준이 강화된 이후에도 어린이 보호구역 내 사고는 지속적으로 발생하고 있습니다. 스쿨존에서는 반드시 시속 30km 이하 서행, 스쿨존 내 불법 주정차 금지, 차량 출발 전 앞뒤 좌우 살피는 습관으로 어린이가 안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, B&K 부산은행과 함께합니다.
It's time for the Water Activities Safety Quiz Show with me, Mike.
And me, Jessie.
Now here is the question. On safely enjoying water activities, listen carefully and guess the right answer.
Okay.
From the following water safety measures, guess which one is correct. Number 1, always warm up before swimming or going in the water. Number 2, enter the water slowly and wear a life jacket. Number 3, never go beyond the designated swimming area. Number 4, call 119 or a lifeguard on duty if you witness drowning.
뭐지? 1번도 맞고 2번도 맞는 것 같은데.
Time is running out.
The answer is all of the above.
That is correct. All of these options are important in order to safely enjoy water activities.
If you keep them in mind, you're bound to have a great and safe summer.
Stay with BEFM this summer for a responsible beach season.
Welcome to Busan. Let me show you around. Here you can find the world's largest musical in-ground fountain and the world's only UN memorial cemetery. Stroll along the coast and explore the largest mountain fortress in Korea. As well as all this, there are so many tourist attractions, beautiful exhibitions, vibrant culture, convenient facilities, and delicious foods unique to Busan. With all the beauty and charm of the amazing city of Busan, you'll find yourself right at home in this ever-changing tourism paradise. So stay with us a while. Busan, your #1 tourist destination. Your home, away from home. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM, Busan 영어방송.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
It's now 8 o'clock. This is hour number 2 of Morning Wave in Busan. We begin with Spotlight News. Court approves arrest warrant for Kim Gun-hee. The Seoul Central District Court yesterday approved the arrest warrant for former First Lady Kim Gun-hee, marking the first time that a former first couple has both been put under detention. The court cited concerns for Kim attempting to destroy evidence. Kim Gun-hee faces charges of violating the Capital Markets Act, Political Funds Act, and bribery charges. Kim will be detained at the Seoul Nambu Detention Center. Special counsel arrests Kim Gun-hee's butler Kim Ye-sung at airport. The special counsel led by Min Jung-gi yesterday arrested Kim Ye-sung, known as former First Lady Kim Gun-hee's butler, at Incheon International Airport upon his arrival from Vietnam. Kim was brought into the special counsel's office in Seoul for questioning. Kim denies involvement in any illegal or improper activities and said he will fully cooperate with the investigation. Kim is at the center of allegations that his rental car company received large investments from major corporations, allegedly using his connections to the former First Lady. Kim fled the country in April and had been abroad until yesterday. President Lee to meet President Trump on August 25th. President Lee Jae-myung will meet with U.S. President Donald Trump on August 25th at the White House for the first summit, embarking on a state visit to the U.S. from August 24th to 26th at the invitation from President Trump. The presidential office confirmed the details yesterday, adding that the two leaders will discuss ways to advance the Chorus alliance to one of a futuristic, comprehensive strategic alliance in response to the changing international security and economic environment. Presidential spokesperson Kang Yoo-jung said that no concrete decisions have been made regarding President Lee Jae-myung's potential trip to Japan following his U.S. visit. South Korea vows to lower industrial accident deaths to OECD average. The government will seek to drastically reduce the number of industrial accident deaths to match the OECD average by 2030, as President Lee Jae-myung vowed stern action against such accidents. The Presidential Policy Planning Committee is set to include this in the administration's 5-year plan, with plans to reduce the country's industrial accidents fatality of 0.39 for every 10,000 people to the OECD average of 0.29. In the meantime, President Lee Jae-myung yesterday directed cabinet members to take maximum possible actions for regular safety inspections and stern actions against violators. Ukraine says it won't cede territory as Russia ramps up offensive. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says that Ukraine will not give up territory in exchange for a ceasefire, as Russia has reportedly suddenly charged the Ukrainian Eastern Warfront. Russia's amped-up offensive is seen as a move to expand its occupied land to pressure Ukraine ahead of the planned summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. In the meantime, the White House said that President Trump will hold virtual talks with President Zelensky on Wednesday, local time, before one-on-one talks with Putin in Alaska on Friday. Zelensky has criticized the Alaska summit as a personal victory for Putin. And this was Spotlight News. It's time for Waggle Waggle. Let's welcome Haley back. Welcome back.
Hi, Francesca.
Francesca.
Did you get that reference? I think Tommy called you. Okay, everyone loves Cat in Black. And
what is Francesca?
It's an old sitcom, 안녕 Francesca. It's about a vampire family. It's like the Korean Addams family.
Oh, really?
So I think you're Morticia, which was beautiful. So just go with it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, now I'm not liking his black comment now. Francesca.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look it up. It was a fun show.
By the way, happy birthday. Apparently it was Tommy's birthday.
Yes, happy belated birthday.
Yes, because we're family. Yes. We're going to get into our first story. First off, a batch of air rifles and bullets were found at a rundown factory. We need the details.
In South Korea, which, gun violence is very rare. Guns among civilians are rare, but unfortunately, this is the second gun-related story in the past month or so that we've covered. So the police have launched an investigation into this was kind of mysterious case because last week they found one air rifle and about 60 bullets plus some gunpowder inside a shutdown factory within the Guro industrial complex in Seoul. So the factory in question had been shut down for a while because there's actually a legal dispute going on that's been lengthy and over the ownership of the factory.
Right.
So the court, as a part of this lawsuit, they issued a seizure of the site and the owner of the factory hired an outside company to clean it out. So when the cleaners got there to kind of clean out the factory, they found the weapons.
Wow.
Right. So they soon promptly alerted the police. So the police have sent the bullet and the rifle to its own labs for analysis and the gunpowder to a nearby military base for analysis.
Okay, so we need to know. Who does the gun belong to?
Right, so that's a mystery. Well, the police suspect that the tenant of the factory, who's it's registered under a man in his 70s, may be the owner. However, the reason that it's suspected is because they haven't been able to track him down. He wasn't at his registered address, and the police haven't been able to contact him. So the police say that they suspect the gun to be an unregistered weapon. But they are opening up a possibility that because the potential owner is older, the gun could have been purchased when the gun registry wasn't digital. So there could be handwritten records somewhere that just never made it onto the digital database.
Okay.
So we'll have to see.
Yes, but still troubling.
Right. And we definitely want Korea to remain of gun-safe country.
Oh,
So,
of course,
yeah.
of course. All right, up next, remember when there was like that huge controversy over vandalism of the Gyeongbokgung Palace walls? Listeners, do you remember this one? Well, it has happened again because someone has damaged the palace walls again.
Okay, don't write on public property to begin with, but especially not when this is priceless national treasure. So a man in his 70s wrote with a marker on the stone walls of Gwanghwamun, which is, of course, the entrance to the Gyeongbokgung Palace.
Yes.
So according to the Korea Heritage Service on Monday, they sent out a press notice about this. They caught a man who was vandalizing a stone wall or seokchuk of the Honghaemun Gate leading into the palace.
Right.
So an employee of the palace was doing the morning rounds, patrolling the area when they found this 79-year-old man, surnamed Kim, writing on the walls. The police arrested him on the scene. So he was writing, it was kind of a lengthy message and fairly big. He was in the process of writing it. It said to the citizens and the global citizens.
Okay.
And was in the process of writing President Trump when he got caught.
Right.
So the writing was about 1.7 meters wide, about 30 centimeters tall. So this was a fairly big message.
So were they able to scrub it off, the writing?
Right. Thankfully, yes, but not easily. So the writing was quite large and the ink had begun to seep into the stones. The Korea Heritage Service, the KHS, they fenced off the area.
Right.
So they sent in about 5 or 6 preservationists with the palace museums. These experts tried to chemically remove the ink. However, it didn't work. So after hours of trying, they had to bring in a laser to basically burn it off, essentially. By the way, this is not owned by the palace, so it costs quite a bit of money to rent it just for the day.
Yes. So if my count is correct, this is actually the third time someone has vandalized this precious national treasure.
Right. So if you remember, this was back in winter, late 2023, December, I believe. A man in his 30s bribed a teenager to vandalize the walls of the palace with spray paint. By the way, the man received a prison sentence and the teen also received a sentence.
Right.
And then there was a copycat crime. A man in his 20s subsequently followed that, sentenced to probation. So, the saying goes, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. What's the third time?
I don't know.
Yeah, especially when there is an entire system that's supposed to protect the national treasures.
Yes.
So the Heritage Service, they did heighten its nighttime patrols and installed CCTVs, but they were not able to catch the man. I mean, full credit, the patrol did catch him, but still he had written a full sentence and then some.
Right.
By the way, under the law, the authorities can request a vandal to pay the fees needed to restore the heritage, and it is a substantial fee. The head of the KHS said that they will have zero tolerance against these acts that damage national heritage.
Right. So definitely a big no-no.
Right.
And
I have to say, personally, he's 79 years old. I mean, you would think we should know better, but
that's what you would think.
Yeah.
All right, this next story goes in line with our text topic. A rich neighbor who has not been getting along with his neighbors.
Actually, I wanted to throw this as a text. We switched it to a nicer topic, but I wanted to throw this. If, say, you have a really, really noisy neighbor and they offered you money, let's say 100만 won. Like about $1,000
for what?
Per month to be as loud and rambunctious as they want it to be. Take it or leave it. Would you take it or leave it?
Okay, someone's going to just give me
100만 won.
cash.
Yes.
100만 won per month.
But they're going to be loud.
Really loud. I don't know.
All hours.
Oh no, not all hours.
Okay.
I need my sleep.
All right.
Yes.
Is there an amount that you would say yes to? Out of 0? Maybe. Think about that.
What would you
waivers.
do? Would you take it?
Yeah. And I would buy, headphones with the first 100만 won, and then be like, be my guest.
Invest,
exactly. Well, this billionaire, rich neighbor, Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, that billionaire.
Yeah, that billionaire, him.
Okay.
And the rich suburban Crescent Park neighborhood in Palo Alto, California. According to reports, this is apparently like the picture of suburban bliss. Quiet, tree-lined idyllic area, children running around the streets on bicycles. However, after Mark Zuckerberg and his family arrived, they've been basically trying to buy up the block.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just buying all the property?
Buying all the property. So how much? Well, Zuckerberg and his wife, Priscilla Chan, they have bought at least 11 properties along Edgewood Drive and Hamilton Avenue, spent more than $110 million.
Oh, so wow. Well, they have the means. Yeah. So what do they need like a dozen homes for, though?
Because
Let's be honest.
they are a family of 5. So it's Zuckerberg, his wife, and 3 daughters. So 5 of the homes have been kind of converged together for a big family home. So it's like basically a home per person. It must be nice. If you
두둥님 says 오메, which is kind of like our reaction.
Right. So it includes guest houses, lush gardens, pickleball court, and a pool. Pickleball is an interesting hobby. That's a fun hobby.
Yes.
However, okay, so sure. I mean, you're a billionaire. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why
But
wouldn't you?
this is the controversial part.
Okay, here we go.
Other structures serve as an entertainment hub. So parties.
Loud.
Staging area for outdoor events and a private school. And that's actually with an unpermitted use under the city code. Yeah. Because buildings are built with specific purposes. Schools and residential homes are not.
Zoning is so strict in America.
Homeschooling is a thing,
Yeah.
but they're using this as an actual school. There's also a 7-foot statue of Priscilla Chan commissioned by her husband. I mean, you know what? If that's not love, I don't know what is.
Is my roommate listening?
Yeah, 7 foot. So that's like 2 meters and then some, right?
I want a 3-meter statue stat. Okay. Just kidding.
Oh
But
my
what
goodness.
else?
So, well, I mean, as this is going on, it's construction.
Yes.
And you know how loud construction
Loud,
is.
yeah.
So residents say they have had to live through 8 years of constant construction. And then clogging the streets with heavy machinery coming in. Some even clip the mirrors off the parked cars. Surveillance apparently is another sore point because in South Korea, CCTVs are everywhere.
Yes.
We're
used to it.
We love them, at least we're used
We
to them.
accept them.
This is the, evidence behind the K 양심. No one really takes things.
Yes.
But in the US, that perception is entirely different. They see it as surveillance. So because there are CCTVs, cameras, kind of like targeting or like aimed at the neighborhood's homes as well.
Right.
They really see that as a grave violation of privacy. Also, there are security guards as well.
Sure.
The city, too, it's been under criticism for allegedly allowing and bending the rules for the billionaire. For example, the family hosted this Wednesday night barbecue and the police created a towing zone for several hours for that purpose.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So the Zuckerberg spokesperson stated that the couple has taken a number of steps above and beyond any local requirements to avoid disruption in the neighborhood. And he cited credible security threats as the need for these protection measures. And he's, by the way, given to the neighborhood as well, including sending an ice cream truck last year, apparently. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, to put things into perspective, Leslie points out there's already a housing shortage in Palo Alto, which is true. And she says, Stanford professors can't even afford to live in that area.
No, they
and
really
that's
can't.
where
Yeah.
Stanford is. So.
Right. I do have a friend who went to Stanford and they said, they only could afford public or campus housing.
Because it's so expensive.
yeah.
Right. And there is no housing. Right. All right. Let's get to our final story. And it's all about good neighbors.
Yes,
We need a happy story.
because we want good people and good
Yes.
stories with the consumption recovery coupon. So we've all talked about how we have been spending it. I'm down to like my last 2만 원, and I think I went to like 2 돈가스 places and 2 ice cream places. But unlike myself, who's been spending it on very personal issues,
Yes.
multiple stories about people using the consumption coupons for others.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, for example, Chuncheon Fire Department and a local coffee franchise said that a local 32-year-old man used his 18만 원, 180,000 won to buy coffee for the firefighters.
Wow.
Yeah, and this was just like a cycle of like politeness and do-gooders because the man ordered 50 coffees at this local coffee franchise. The owner said, "That's so great, I'm going to match that." So they were able to send 100 cups to the local fire department. And then the company headquarters, it's Idea Coffee, they joined. They're saying they said they are giving the branch owner and the man 1 million won worth of coffee coupons each. And then the man said, well, thank you, but I'm going to use that coupon to buy more coffee for the firefighters. So this is just like a chain of politeness happening. So he told the press that he wanted to do something nice for the firefighters, especially because they've been battling and handling the flood and the rescue missions and recovery missions. So he wanted this to be his chance. He also credited the part-time worker who had to make the 100 cups of coffee for the order as like a hidden hero. Yeah. So another case, the head of an IT firm donated his 150,000 won to a local senior welfare center, saying that he wanted to do something to honor his grandmother who is bedridden, who is sick. So, he wanted to do something nice for the elders. And the stories continue on social media. A 24-year-old woman in Seoul donated you can't donate the coupons, you do have to spend it, but the same amount of money to a veterans organization in honor of her late grandfather, a Korean war vet. Yeah.
Such amazing people out there.
And it's incredible.
Yes. So, and this is not to guilt trip anybody.
No. But I mean, we did talk about how we are giving to charitable organizations, whether it be in talent, time, or money. So yeah, definitely. You know, we do want to spread the word so it can inspire others.
Yes. Well, thank you for inspiring everybody. And we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Haley.
Have a great day.
And now we're going to get back to your updated traffic and weather. It's now 8:18, and here is your update on traffic and weather. A car has broken down on the Busan 외곽 순환 고속도로, or the Ring Expressway, Changwon direction, inside the Kumjeongsan Tunnel. So please be aware of this. It's causing some issues right now. Another broken down vehicle. This is a cargo truck on the Namhae Expressway going toward Suncheon by Haman Ramp. Gwangan Bridge right now, that top portion to Taeyeon, it's congested. Also, traffic detected on Gwanmun-daero from Bangham Tunnel to Baegang Tunnel. And it is looking slow on Manduk-daero from Sukdung to Deokjeon intersection. And currently, it is 26 degrees Celsius under cloudy skies here in Busan. It's going to go up to 31 today. The sun, well, at least in Centum, it's already making an appearance, and it will definitely peak out later this morning across the nation. Heavy rain forecast for the central area with heavy rain advisories issued across parts of the capital area with up to 60 millimeters per hour of rain. Several road and bridge closures reported in Seoul, so please check the route before you head out today. This was your traffic and weather. This is your special interview. You know, these days, especially here in Korea, just 4 letters can spark instant connection, right? The Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. We know it as MBTI, has become kind of like the go-to icebreaker, replacing the once popular, what's your blood type? And whether you're at work or in school or maybe on a first date, someone is almost certain to ask you about your MBTI. And, it's not just MBTI these days. There are simple online personality quizzes of all kinds that continue to fascinate and entertain people. So what fuels our irresistible urge to label and kind of categorize each other? Why do we love these personality tests so much? Let's find out. Joining us is Dr. Dana Dorfman, clinical social work psychotherapist and author of When Worry Works, How to Harness Your Parenting Stress and Guide Your Teen to Success. So let's say hi. Hi, how are you?
Hi, fine, thank you. How are you?
Great. Thanks for coming on air with us today. So, there are many types of personality tests out there. So right now, which ones are the most popular? And from your perspective, are these tests reliable at all?
Well, I would say that the MBTI is still one of the most popular personality assessments. And I understand that in South Korea, that is really a popular test. There are several other tests that many companies use, such as the Big Five, or sometimes called the Ocean. There is a Hogan inventory, Enneagrams, and also the Clifton Strengths. Those are some popular tests that are also administered by various companies and agencies and institutions.
I see. Thanks for going over the different kinds of tests out there. And the question is this, though. Why do you think these types of tests, and there are multiple ones out there, as you just pointed out, why do you think they're so appealing to people across different age groups and cultures?
They are incredibly appealing. It never ceases to amaze me how much people love a quiz. And if you think about just sort of human nature, it is an innate human need to be seen and to be understood. And having a framework or some kind of scale to be able to be understood and to feel as if you are seen is incredibly gratifying for all human beings. And especially at certain times of life, like young adulthood or even late adolescence, when we're sort of our own identities are beginning to emerge, that these kinds of tests are especially appealing and are of great interest as well. They kind of prompt us to be a little bit more self-reflective or to examine ourselves from a slightly different lens, or even through a different framework than we're typically accustomed to.
I see. And the thing is, it's not just ourselves. We're so fascinated by other people. Here in Korea especially, it's kind of like a social icebreaker, oh, what's your MBTI? It used to be what's your blood type, which to me, when I first came to Korea, was so odd. Why do you need my blood? Do you need a blood transfusion? Literally, why do you need to know my blood type? But and then I came to realize it's a way of kind of connecting socially, correct?
Yes, it absolutely is. And there is something kind of nice about getting to know somebody from their own vantage point. It's a way of even saying, I understand that you have an internal world, or you have a personality that underlies sort of the exterior of what it is that I see. And so I'd like to be able to get to know what's going on inside of you. Who are you behind this face that I see?
Yes. And so these types of personality quizzes, especially the online ones, back in the day, they were usually in magazines or whatnot, right? But now everything's done online. From what I understand, they're not scientifically validated, correct?
They are not. They especially the only one that has some scientific validity is the Big Five, or the Ocean. That kind of identifies 5 different personality attributes.
Yes.
And then kind of measures how much of that quality you have. But the others are not necessarily reliable. If you were to take them at different times of day, or even at different times in your life, you would not necessarily get the same results.
I see. But do you think that even though, except for the one exception that has some scientific value, that they can still offer at least some sort of insight or benefit?
Absolutely. I think that they can be incredibly helpful because they offer a common language for people to understand one another. And I think that it also, while they are qualitative tests, they're also ways to objectify our understanding of other people. So there is not necessarily a judgment attached to any of these qualities. It's kind of its premise is saying essentially we are all different. We all lean into different styles of approaching the world. There are many different ways to exist in the world. There are many different ways to communicate. There is not necessarily one way that is better or worse. They're just different. And so by giving people a framework or a language, it's saying, it's identifying kind of there's not necessarily a judgment that we ascribe to these qualities.
Yes.
We're just saying, what is your particular kind of like a flavor of ice cream? You know, it's kind of what is your preference?
Yes.
Or what is it that you lean into?
Interesting. So when I took, at least for example, the MBTI test, like online, I was thinking, like sometimes I felt like I was in between one or the other, or not necessarily just 100% like this trait describes me. So is there a risk of maybe oversimplifying ourselves and kind of oversimplifying how we view others as well?
Yes. And that is also a human tendency, is that humans don't like ambiguity, and that we all sort of seek certainty. And so sometimes it is tempting, especially when you're given sort of a dichotomy or kind of two ends of a spectrum, that we like to know, is it good? Or are we this or are we that?
Right.
Are we, you know, and that I think that we are, that is sort of the way that we are wired also. And that kind of that in-between gray space where most of us exist is harder to tolerate. So these binaries or these dichotomies are actually appealing because we have a desire to reduce things down to our barest component, but actually that does us a little bit of a disservice.
I see. So, Dr. Dorfman, how should we approach these quizzes or tests? So, you know, yes, they can be useful, they can be entertaining, and not just, you know, limiting or, you know, saying, hey, this person is this type of, you know, MBTI, so I don't want to associate with him. We don't want to do that. We don't want to alienate people, right?
No, definitely not. And I think that it is important to be able to kind of contextualize people, to understand that these are situational, that these are contextual.
Yes.
And that they are not necessarily emblematic of a person's kind of personality across the board.
Yes.
And some of the time too, we can, when we are prone to personalizing things, like if, say, hypothetically, you know, somebody does not want to go, we invite them to go to a party and they say no, it would be tempting to take that personally. But if we understand them from a different perspective, like they are introverted or their energy gets depleted easily, then we don't necessarily, we can detach ourselves a little bit and kind of appreciate that this is not necessarily attributable to us or our relationship, but is actually more attributable to the person.
Yes.
It can also just be helpful when we're trying to communicate with other people. If we have an understanding that not everybody communicates the same way, or people hear things differently depending on how we're wired or what our life experiences have been or what our temperaments are, then we can also tailor our communication in accordance with you know, to the person to whom we are speaking. So, so it can be something to entertain and consider, but it is not at all the be-all, end-all of anything.
Yes. So we're going to wrap it up for today, but thank you so much for coming on air with us to explain the ins and outs of these personality type quizzes and tests, and of course, to not take things too seriously. So thanks for joining us today. We do appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
This was Dr. Dana Dorfman. And I was actually looking at some of your responses online, people sharing their MBTIs, because that's the thing in Korea right now. It's still this whole, like, you know, although there are other personality quizzes and tests. So Umberto, who says he's an ISTJ, says this is 100% my personality. So he is so into this. Also, Awkward Man saying he is an INTF. And then TJ, 태준님 says, ENF인데 STJ로 끝나야 공부도 잘하고 일도 잘하고 와이프가 그러더라고요. 그렇게 얘기했대요. I'm kind of curious. 근데 혹시 와이프님께서 STJ로 끝나는 거 아닌가 싶은데요. So he says STJ가 되고픈 NFP. But as we mentioned earlier, by coincidence, 우리 PD님, Haley and I were all ESTJ. Oh, so that's also kind of rare where like you're like the same, MBTI all on one team. But, I say that definitely is just one way to entertain ourselves, but it doesn't define who you are. So keep that in mind. We're going to take a song break. This is Go by Brown Eyed Soul.
너무 한심했어 그렇게 보내는 게 아니었어 그 못난 자존심은 내던지고 너를 잡아야 했어 또다시 잠시 동안 앓고 나면 그렇게 시간 속에 무뎌지면 언제나 그래왔던 너 역시도 있게 될 줄 알았어 느림 맞추던 이 길에서 널 떠나보낸 이곳에서 아주 길었던 꿈을 꾼 듯 그날로 돌아가 길어질 수 있다는 것 사랑은 멈출 수가 없다는 것 그토록 소중했던 너라는 걸 나는 너무 몰랐어 느림 맞추던 이 길에서 널 떠나보낸 이곳에서 아주 길었던 꿈을 꾼 듯 그날로 돌아가 함께했던 나의 한숨이 내게 돌아가야 한다고 어리석은 나를 보며 가르쳐준 거야 떠나갔던 나의 미소가 널 본 순간에 날 반기며
It's time for our Wednesday segment, Work in Progress. That means Jennifer's here. Let's say hi for his happy hump day.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. I always enjoy coming here.
Oh, well, we love having you here. So
thank you.
The feeling is always mutual. Well, we are racing towards like the end of. Is your daughter back in school?
Oh, yes.
You mentioned
she is.
You look so happy. Yeah. That's why I ask. My little one's going back next week. I'll be happier next week as well.
Makes a big difference. I mean, I love seeing her, but
really, are you doing
having her around?
Uh-huh.
I have to I don't make 3 meals or anything like that, but still like her presence
그냥 있는 그
means
자체?
a lot.
You love her so much, right? 다행히 삼시세끼는 안 하죠.
아닙니다.
안 했어요, right?
She's busy with the 학원 and all.
Everybody's busy. Students are the busiest during summer vacation and winter vacation. For those of you who are living abroad or not Korean, it's very difficult to understand, but like 방학 때 공부 제일 많이 해요.
맞습니다.
Right. All right. So what is our topic for this week?
Well, today we are diving into a workplace trend that's creating quite a lot of frustration for many employees.
Oh.
Something known as ghost promotions.
What?
약간 이거 한국말로 하면 너무 이상한데 귀신 승진 너무 이상하죠. 네. That's when an employee receives a title promotion like a team lead, assistant manager, or even director, but without any benefit, without a raise, no added decision-making authority, and often without a formal change in responsibilities.
I laugh because I have a personal story. So basically, it's like you get a title and that's it.
Yeah.
My roommate, they gave him like a little extra title. So I was kind of like, oh, so does that mean extra? And he's like, no. And I was like, can you give it back? Because it's like added responsibility.
No, thank you.
It's added responsibility, but no extra pay. I was like, 너무한 거 아닌가?
Yeah, added work without
Right.
any benefit.
Exactly. So is that what we're talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it might look impressive on your business card or on your online profile.
Okay.
But in reality, you're expected to do more, spend more time working, often manage people or projects.
Yes.
Without the authority, recognition, or a compensation that would normally come with it.
Then that, to me, let's be honest, authority, recognition, that's important. But come on, the compensation, that's really important if you're doing extra work, right?
Yeah.
So I can imagine this is really confusing for people who are involved. And my big question is this. It's not aimed at you personally, Jennifer, but why do companies do this? 왜 이러세요?
Yeah, I also wonder, but
Yes.
I can guess there are a few reasons.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a cost-saving tactic. They want to reward someone, but don't have the budget for a proper promotion. 뭐 회사에 돈이 없으니까 그렇겠죠.
Okay.
Other times, it's an informal way of saying, we trust you, we value your work, but without clear follow-up. In some organizations, it's just a side effect of a rapid growth or poorly defined job structures.
In my brain, I get it. But at the same time, I would think that this would cause some frustration for people who are involved, right?
뭔가 해줘야 될 거는 같은데, but they don't have a good structure or money. Yeah.
Yes.
So for the employee, it's demotivating for sure.
Yes.
They are doing higher level work, but the recognition is really superficial.
Yes.
And for coworkers or teams, it creates confusion. Are you a peer or a manager now?
Yeah.
Can you approve budgets or not? Ambiguity creates tension.
Oh, yes, I can see that. So does this happen frequently in Korea?
Oh, quite a lot, sadly. Yeah, yes, especially in companies where formal hierarchy still carries a lot of weight.
Okay.
Titles are important in Korean work culture still. Being called 차장 or 부장님 carries social meaning. People treat you differently.
Yes.
You gain respect with that title, right? So when a title is given without the actual authority compensation, but it feels hollow and sometimes humiliating. Even if you gain some respect with your title.
Yes.
It's it can feel humiliating, a little bit embarrassing even. Yeah.
And like sometimes like these days I hear like there's lots of like people with these titles like 차장 or 부장. There's so many of them.
Yeah,
And
there's so
then-
many.
So it's kind of like, well, then who's left to be just like a, that's a regular employee? Just saying. Globally, though, are we seeing this elsewhere?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially in companies with flat hierarchies, like many startups, or during economic uncertainty, like in many companies. In the US, some employees are seeing like stretch roles where they take on the managerial tasks unofficially.
Okay.
In parts of Europe and Southeast Asia, there are like reports of shadow leadership.
Shadow leadership.
Responsibilities without formal recognition.
Okay, I was going to say, it sounds kind of shady there, but okay. So we're talking about like stretching roles. So you're doing the work of, let's say, a manager or like somebody, you would think is in a leadership position without like really being one officially?
No. Sometimes it's positioned as a growth opportunity.
Okay.
But it can become like a little bit dodgy. If there's no clear timeline or path to formal promotion.
Right. Some people might think like you might feel a little exploited, like work-wise. So what about the psychological effect on employees?
That's a big part of the problem. Studies show that unclear role expectations increase burnout, reduce motivation, and can even lead to turnover.
Okay.
Of course. Employees start to wonder, why am I putting in so much effort if the company doesn't really value my work, doesn't recognize it?
Yes, so ghost promotions can actually backfire.
Companies think they are motivating people, but they may be undermining trust. Plus, it's unfair to those who are still waiting for real promotions.
Sure.
While others get titles without substance.
So I imagine this might create problems when you're trying to kind of lead a team, for example, but you don't have any real authority. Like maybe your title might allude to you having authority, but not really.
Do you care about titles, by the way?
Before I came to Korea, not really. But I realized even I'm still kind of not 100% sure of I know the words like 차장 and 부장 and all that, but then sometimes it's confusing as to who's higher even. I don't know the hierarchy 100%, not the Korean corporate hierarchy. But, in terms of the title, I don't know. I'm not too, it doesn't really matter.
I would much prefer the real benefit, the real package than
definitely
the title. It's tough when you're called a team lead, but have no real authority.
팀장님 with no real
authority.
power.
No say in evaluations or project direction. So you have no impact. Colleagues either resent you or expect leadership you can't deliver, which can be really stressful. It's a lose-lose for everyone.
It sounds
Not
like
win-win.
it. Yes. So is there a solution?
First, companies need to align titles with authority and compensation.
Okay.
That's the first thing. If someone is called a manager, they should be managing people.
Like
managing
other
projects.
people, not just yourself, right? Okay.
If that's not possible yet, managers need to communicate clearly. You are taking on this role for now, and in 6 months, we will revisit your compensation and title officially. So this is temporary and
but at least if you say it clearly, in 6 months, we're going to revisit this issue. Let's have a talk in 6 months.
Yeah.
You're clearly laying out what might happen. And so it sounds like communication openness is really important.
That can be a little bit more motivating.
Okay.
Yeah. And if a real promotion isn't possible, say so honestly. No,
I would hope
better.
so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe offer non-monetary recognition,
such as
training, exposure to leadership, or involvement in strategy, extra holiday.
Oh, yes,
while
yes.
being upfront about the current limitations.
So if it, once again, if the funds are limited, let's say, for a company, there are other ways that you can give incentives, right?
Yeah. The worst thing is lying about it.
Oh, that's the
and
worst.
taking advantage.
너무 나빠요, 그거요.
예.
그러지 마세요. Let's not do that, okay? So I do like that idea of acknowledging the effort without pretending or lying, saying, oh, it's a promotion when it's really not.
I would feel so used.
Oh, I would be, I would be not happy, unhappy. Yes.
Employees should feel empowered to ask questions like, what does this title change mean for my responsibilities?
Okay.
Or is there a path to formal promotion? So these are fair and important conversations.
Yes, indeed. And so that's really good advice. Any final thoughts for our listeners out there, our waivers who are kind of, interested in what you're saying right now?
Well, first of all, I hope you never have to experience this.
Oh, right.
Ghost promotion.
Yes.
So whether you are a leader giving a title or an employee receiving one, always think beyond the label. A job title should represent real responsibility, recognition, and respect. Otherwise, we risk turning career growth into just another illusion.
That's true. Wise words. Another great segment from you. So thank you, Jennifer.
Thank
and
you.
of course, take care. We'll check in with you next week.
Okay, will do. Bye-bye.
All right, this was Jennifer with Work in Progress. And before we wrap things up for today, so there was a question on the board. I was kind of eyeing it as we were talking to Jennifer. So Taejin was asking, what exactly is ghost promotion like in Korean? It would be like 유령 승진 or like 승진 without the 보상, especially in terms of money. So that was the main gist of what we were talking about, Jennifer and I, a little while ago. And like I said earlier, in Seoul, if you're in the capital area, I hear that it is raining a lot right now. So that means that there are several road and bridge closures. And we hear Morning Wave in Busan. I know there's the in Busan on our title, but we have listeners from all over. We have family members and relatives and loved ones in the Seoul area as well. So please be careful today. And I'm getting a lot of questions about, Friday. Friday is indeed a public holiday. It is what we call, 빨간 날, as they say in Korean. So Friday is the 80th Liberation Day commemoration, which is a major, major milestone, an important day for everybody here. So people are asking, we are going to be broadcasting. That's all I'm going to say because, yes, you're going to have to tune in to find out. And Tommy confirming that it is really raining a lot right now because he is in that region. So thanks for giving us an update and wishing you nothing but the best on this hump day, leading up into the long weekend. We just have one more day to go, it seems. Well, for our final song, how about this one? Because this is kind of how we feel about all of you. So how about this? Close to You by The Carpenters. Wishing you a wonderful Wednesday. Bye, everybody.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by? Just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkled moon dust in your hair and golden starlight in your eyes of blue. That is why all the girls in town follow you all around. Just like me, they long to be close to you. is why all the girls in town follow you all around. Just like me, they long to be close to you. Just like me, they long to be close to you.